Hey there, folks. It's the E-Man here. See, my room's been kind of changed around a little bit. Anyway, it's in my original Xbox back there, PlayStation 5. But I guess I wanted to show some game pickups. I've gotten these like maybe over a month or period of time. I kind of forgot to like kind of do videos about them. But I waited a couple weeks to go to my favorite game store, and they happen to have a whole bunch of things. But anyway, let's see. I found a 3DS game. First up, we've got Zelda, A Link Between the World, A Link Between Worlds. It's kind of an interesting game because I think you can become artwork and like move around and pop out of the wall and stuff. This before, but I know that since the eShop has been closed on this, these games are going to start getting harder to get. Since you can only play them on the physical, I don't think you can really download games off the store anymore. Oh, and it's, it doesn't have the manual, but it's got the box. Oh, 3DS. Okay. For the Xbox, I found the limited edition MechAssault 2 Lone Wolf. Now, there was another game called MechAssault. It's very much like MechWarrior, but a little bit different. Like when you destroy mechs, you can pick up health and weapons and stuff. This one is more unique because you can actually like get out of your mech and like take over another mech or another vehicle or something. Yeah, your pilot can actually jump out and go into another vehicle, which kind of a cool thing. And I like the cover. His visor is reflective there. And let's see. No instruction booklet. But I've got MechAssault 2 Lone Wolf, and I've got limited edition. I guess the limited edition is what the regular edition? Yeah, whatever. No instruction booklet, but case is in pretty good shape. Except for these damn stickers on it. But anyway. A game I had heard a lot about. It's like the only Star Wars game, I think, that has not been re-released on anything. Star Wars Obi-Wan on the original Xbox. Now, I've seen videos, a lot of people talking about this. Yeah, of course, today's May the 4th, so interesting game. I believe this was supposed to be, like, many different things. Probably an add-on of Episode 1 and all that stuff, or there was an ambitious plan to make this cover Obi-Wan in, like, his three different forms, like the Clone Wars form, then his younger form, and then his older form in Episode 4. Yeah, it would have been I think it's like a game that sounds like it could be really cool, and it's not good or bad, it's kind of in the road. A lot of people said this game feels like it was released, but it feels like it's an unfinished beta or something, but yeah, interesting game nonetheless. I don't think you can get this on anything else except the original Xbox. Of course, you can play it on emulation. Xbox emulation's been gotten pretty good lately. But anyway, there we go. Yeah, I think this is a much older Xbox game, though, too. I think it's like way before they even put all that stuff on it. Now we have Forza 2 Motorsport. Got this from Goodwill. Seems to be a good place to find some of these games, racing games. It's on 360. Yeah, 360. Forza 2 Motorsport. Then we've got DT Racer on the PS2. I don't really played a lot of these racing games. Now, a lot of these racing games, it's hard to get like remastered versions of them because they have licensing of all the cars and stuff, and those run out. This is why we don't usually get a lot of remasters of racing games. Yes, one of my more favorite games. The N64 game, GoldenEye 007, which you can play now on the Switch, online. You can play it on the 360, play it on emulation. or played on the N64. So finally, it's not locked on the. I mean, I'm sorry, the N64. A great freaking game. I think it's one of the games that showed that the N64 was capable of really good shooters. Well, it showed again because remember, usually shooters were all on the PC, and then it's like, oh, well, this is going to come out. A great game, a lot of fond memories of playing this game with my brother. We would play multiplayer. Of course, I was never particularly good at it. Anyway, that one. And we got Sonic 2, the Sega Genesis, the not for resale version. When I was younger, I got a Sega Genesis for Christmas that came with this game, so nostalgia for this particular version of it. Box in pretty good shape, except someone tried to stitch their name onto it. But it is complete though. It's got instruction booklet, it's got the poster, yeah, got a poster and the cartridge. Smells a little bit iffy, but whatever. Yeah, it's kind of cool to get these complete in box, and I have Sonic 1 around here too, so. And I have Sonic 3. Well, I had Sonic 3 Knuckles, but unfortunately they came in the cardboard box. That one. Alright, the rest of these are ones I might have shown before, but I just wanted to. Before, Judge Dredd on the Sega Genesis. I think there's also a Super Nintendo version of this. I think it's based on the movie, but then there's also levels that are from the comic books. Not a bad game, but it's not like super duper good, but whatever. An NES game. Platoon. Platoon, is that how I say that right? Yeah, based on that movie. I kind of forget what happens in that movie, but like the Vietnam War and all that stuff. Made by Sunsoft. Oh! Yeah. Then we have a Sony ImageSoft game, a Genesis game. A Cliffhanger. Yeah, this game was always kind of an iffy game, I remember. Well, though there's a part of this game where there's just no way to win. There's some glitch in the game that prevents you from winning it. Yeah, one time I did this stage like 50 times, and I had to keep going back to that same part like 50 freaking times. And it was like, somehow it was one time I managed to get through. Well, there's snow coming at you, and there's some glitch in the game that just prevents you from getting away from it. Yeah, I don't know if that's like weird. There's also a Sega CD version of this game, which is pretty cool, because the Sega CD version has footage from the actual movie. Yeah, like the Sylvester Stallone movie, one of his earlier movies. He's a young fella in that movie. Okay. Oh, yeah, yes. Very nice pickup here. Capcom game, Mega Man 3. Yeah, I've always noticed that the box art, it looks like Mega Man is shooting Spark Man in the bolts there, shooting him kind of below the belt there. Quite a look on his face, but man, Mega Man 3. Oh, I remember being a kid and renting Mega Man 2 and 3 all the time. Yeah, the original Mega Man I didn't really play till later, and then of course I missed Mega Man 4 for many years, but Mega Man 3. The game, I know it's a little harder because it's got Darkman robots and whatnot, and it had somebody's writing on it, so I cleaned it off. And some of these original Mega Man games are weird. Some of them go for a lot of money, but this one happened to be a decent amount, not too bad for it. Alright, yeah, and then here are some of the other ones that I might have done earlier. We got another Star Wars game. Star Wars Rebel Assault 2 for the PlayStation. I got this a while ago. So, yeah. Yeah, Rebel Assault. I remember there was like the Rebel Strike game, Rebel Assault game, Rebel Strike games and stuff. Those are kind of fun. But yeah, I think you can already get this on something, I guess. I think it's complete because I got it sealed up in a box. A game I don't think I've talked about at all is the Wii game, Mad Dog McCree Gunslinger Pack. This is essentially, let's see. Yeah, it's got the Mad Dog McCree, it's got Mad Dog McCree 2, and it's got the other one called Bounty Hunter, which is like a third game. So you get 3 of these great shooting games. I have Mad Dog McCree on the Sega CD, but the problem is the video picture is kind of grainy. And of course, you know, it's like you have to have the gun with it, otherwise you're stuck with the controller, and that's very iffy. But of course, excuse me, the versions on here are just photorealistic, perfect. I mean, wow. I mean, yeah, because this is like live action actors that you kind of shoot at and stuff. And they use real Wild West sets. One of the interesting things is I remember I watched the movie Tombstone, and I looked at the town that they had there, and very vaguely looked familiar. Like, I was like, isn't that from the Mad Dog McCree game? Maybe they used a famous Western setup somewhere that they've used, like they use in a lot of movies. McCree. Of course, you can use the Wii Zapper, which, yeah, it's probably one of the best ways to play like light gun games if you do not have a CRT, because you can usually play them with the Wii remote. Oh, interesting set of games. I had to look it up because I was like wondering where to get a better version of playing this. I have Alundra 2. Yeah, a very great game. I regret that I just haven't found the time to play it yet. I can see if I can keep finding older games to play, but Alundra 2. I think it was the first Alundra. Was a very great game, and some of these games are going to get rarer and rarer to find because, well, especially if the PS3 store like eventually shuts down. But I have a bunch of classic games I was able to get on the PlayStation 3, so I have that saved up before, you know, so when they shut down the online store, you have no way to play them. But, and of course, if my PlayStation 3 dies, I'm going to lose all those on it anyway. But oh, well, okay, that's going to probably be it for my game pickups. Oh, yes, I think a couple weeks ago, just a sec here. Alright, sorry about that. As I was saying, you know, it's like I was, you know, a couple weeks ago, I went to Best Buy and I saw an opened box, and it was of a Xbox Elite 2 controller. It was missing some of the parts, but it did have the key, so I can adjust the joysticks and stuff. Because the, yeah. Yeah, I was like pretty impressed. I was able to get it for, let's see, like, I think like $70. Usually these go for like 180 brand new or something, but it was missing the case, the charge base, and the extra parts are missing. But yeah, it's like magnetic parts. You can take those off, and of course you can put the key, use the key in there to tighten the joysticks, the sensitivity. Nice grips. The biggest thing I love about this controller, it has a built-in battery pack, but it uses like a USB-C plug, so I mean I've got a lot of things that use that. Plus the battery life in this is 40 hours. I have actually not had to charge this controller since I've had it. Like 40 hours. 40-hour charge. on the battery. Yeah, normally you have a battery, you know, there's where the battery pack, well, built-in battery pack, but that's where the charging thing goes on. Yeah, it didn't come with any of the extra buttons on the back here, but you can adjust the sensitivity of the triggers up here. So if you're really into really playing games, I really love the 40-hour battery life. It's really great. I definitely suggest going to Best Buy and trying to look for those open boxes. I was hoping they had an open box of a PlayStation 5 Elite controller, but I've heard those have good battery life, but they don't have very good joysticks. And the funny thing about the PlayStation 5 one is that you can actually replace the joysticks completely, so it's almost like they kind of knew the joysticks in it don't work very well. It is cool that you can replace them. Well, I have a problem with my PlayStation 5 controller, because I was playing Helldivers 2 quite a bit, and in order to run, you have to kind of like push down and push forward on the joystick, and the rubber actually came off my my joystick, so one of my joysticks doesn't have all the rubber on it. And I tried to put like special joystick hook-ons or whatever, but yeah, I mean, it's like, I just wish there was a run button in Helldivers 2, because there isn't. So you have to constantly hold down on the joystick and hit forward to run, and I'm like, why isn't there just a run button on some other thing? Maybe you can set the button later or something, but yeah. Well, I was glad this had the key, at least, because if you lose this, with the metal little screwdriver key thing, you can't really adjust anything. So... what's funny is the back of it's magnetic. Now you can actually stick it on there. It was actually on there before, but I want to take it off because messing up the battery pack. Yeah, now some people have talked about sometimes they're playing this and all of a sudden it disconnects. I don't use this like directly through Bluetooth. I have actually the I don't know. Yeah, I have the actual Xbox wireless controller USB adapter thingy to do it. I find that seems to work great, and I haven't had any issues with that. Vibration's also good in this too, so yeah. Well, yeah, you can also take off the D-pad as well. That's like magnetic. It's kind of a cool thing. You can change different. Yeah, usually it comes with a bunch of other parts and stuff, and but managed to get this cheap because it was an open box, and I guess I must not have got the other stuff. Yeah, for only like, I could go, you can go on Amazon and get the, but the special case, well, for how much this controller normally costs, I would assume people would want to put it in a nice spiffy case. Also charge it in the case, you have the, as I said, and all the other accessories missing. So it was really cool to be able to get this for really cheap and have it be high quality. It doesn't really have any sticky buttons or massive problems, but woof. Well, there was the Elite 1 controller. This is, of course, the second version, which I think is a lot better. I see just different things here. I think you can like tune in your buttons for specific games and whatnot. I just love the battery life. That's one of the major pluses. Yeah, not having to worry about running the controller dying all the time, or having to have batteries, or having to charge battery packs. Yeah, great controller. Yeah, it has not died on me yet, so I've plugged it in a couple of times, but I think it just runs forever. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. Leave any comments you may have. I know that retro game collecting is kind of iffy, and I've kind of told myself I probably shouldn't be spend so much on physical stuff when I can actually just lay it on emulator, but sometimes it's nice to collect things once in a while for a decent price. I don't want to pay through the nose for this stuff. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later then. Bye.